Most people can lose weight, and with the help of modern medicine, it has never been easier. But very few people can keep it off for over a year. And the data is clear. Weight regain is the norm, not the exception, often with a few pounds more. So instead of focusing on what is going wrong, let's look at what the people who actually succeed are doing right. And if we haven't met before, I'm Maria and I'm a registered dietitian who specializes in fat loss. And I've been on both sides of this. I've lost weight and I've regained it because keeping it off isn't easy if you don't know what you're doing. But I can tell you this. I have worked in the weight loss phase for over a decade, and I would have given up hope and quit a long time ago if I didn't think losing weight and keeping it off was possible. Because it is. Just not by accident. And there are very clear research-backed habits that I see over and over again in the people who actually keep the weight off. So let's get straight in. Now, the first habit that consistently shows up is some form of self-monitoring. And this does not mean that you need to track every calorie of food forever. For some people, it means staying mindful of portion sizes. For others, it's keeping a loose food diary every now and again. And for a lot of people, it means keeping an eye on their weight over time too. Now, weighing yourself frequently isn't for everyone, but for a lot of people, checking their weight, whether it's weekly, fortnightly, this helps keep them in check because it means you notice small changes before they start to become big ones. Weight can creep back up very gradually. And without any monitoring at all, it's very easy to only realize that something has shifted once a significant amount has come back on. So some form of self-monitoring, even if it's a pair of jeans or a belt that you know how it should fit, this really does seem to matter when it comes to keeping your weight off. Now, this is a big one, and one of the biggest takeaways I think a lot of people watching should take from today. But people who tend to manage their weight long term and keep it off, they have a defined trigger point and a clear plan of action if they reach that point. So essentially, if your weight goes up by 10 pounds, or if you reach X number on the scales, they know, okay, well, this is the point that I need to take action. And they know exactly what action looks like. So once they identify whatever that number is, that means they're drifting, something that is above normal day-to-day fluctuations, because our weight will always go up and down a certain amount. But there is that number that they catch early enough before they're facing a big uphill battle. And they'll have a plan to do something about it. And often that's what maybe they did to help lose weight in the first place. And that is my advice to a lot of clients. Do what worked before. You don't need to keep reinventing the wheel. And it sounds silly, but often when something goes sideways, people do start to look for a new approach rather than returning to what has worked previously. But if you have a plan that you have thought through in advance, you're far less likely to fall into this trap. And this really matters because research shows that people who are defined as long-term weight loss maintainers, they do experience some regain at some point, whether that's after a holiday or after Christmas. But having a plan for that moment is actually part of what defines them as people who maintain weight loss. Now, this point isn't glamorous, but it is very consistent in the research. People who maintain their weight loss tend to plan their meals, and they do at least some form of food preparation in advance. And here is the question that I find the most telling when I'm working with clients. When do you plan your meals? If somebody can answer that specifically, like Sunday afternoons, that's when I make my plan for the week and prep things in advance, or make out my grocery list, their outcomes tend to be so much better than someone who has not thought about it at all. Having this plan, it removes a lot of that in-the-moment decision making that could really derail things, especially on stressful days. Now, life is not a controlled environment. There are weekends away. There are work dinners, work lunches, celebrations, and holidays. And research shows that people who maintain weight loss, they tend to have some level of mindfulness going into these situations in advance, rather than just winging it every single time. And this is not about restriction or rules. It's about going in with some awareness. Maybe you decide in advance that you will enjoy that meal fully and then balance things out over the rest of the week. Or maybe you scope the menu beforehand. Either way, having thought about it beforehand makes a difference. And I completely do not advise that if you are going out for dinner in the evening, that you skip lunch or try to starve yourself all day. Because more often than not, it means you end up overeating that evening. Now this one makes practical sense, but meals prepared at home are generally lower in calories and more nutritious than eating out or getting takeaway. Restaurants are designed to taste good, which often means more fat, more salt, and more calories in comparison to what you might use yourself cooking the same thing at home. That said, there is still more than one way to succeed here. There are some people who rely on pre-prepared healthy meals, and this does really well for them long term, but these have to be intentionally chosen. And on average, a higher proportion of meals cooked at home does support better outcomes. Now, this is probably the habit that I see most clearly in my own clients. People who maintain weight loss tend to have a consistent structure to their days, particularly around food and movement. And it's not rigid and it's not obsessive, but it is somewhat consistent. And that might be as simple as roughly having the same meal times every day, or a regular shopping day, or a set time that they move their body. Because when these things become habitual rather than effortful, they require a lot less mental energy to maintain. And that consistency tends to hold up even when life gets busy. Now, exercise is not a particularly efficient tool for losing weight in the short term, but for keeping it off, it is one of the most powerful things you can do. And the research here is genuinely striking. Studies suggest that if you exercise at a regular frequency during weight loss, at least twice a week, doing more than just light walking, and you maintain or increase that activity afterwards, rather than letting it drop, your odds of keeping that weight off over a 2 to 5 year period, they improve dramatically. And we are talking about moving from what many people would consider a very high failure rate to better than 50% success from changing this just one variable. So whatever movement you built into your routine when you were on the way down that fat loss scales, keeping that going is one of the most evidence-based things that you can do. And the final common theme that we see in the research is external accountability, often with working with a professional like a dietitian. And this helps in a few ways. Yes, there is the knowledge and that structure side of things, but honestly, the accountability itself is a huge part of it too. Having someone who knows your goals, understands your history, and checks in with you regularly, that makes a real difference. And I see this all the time with my own weight loss clients. Even after they reach their goal, we will schedule a 6-month check-in. And just knowing that that is in the calendar down the line helps to keep them on track. Now, I'm not trying to plug my own services here, but I will have them linked below. But this is something we're even seeing reflected in clinical guidelines now, particularly for those on weight loss medications. Ongoing support from a professional like a dietitian is recommended. So there we have it, 8 habits that research consistently links to long-term weight loss maintenance. You do not by any means need to nail all 8 straight away. Even if you focus on 2 or 3 that feel relevant to you right now, will meaningfully improve your odds. But the biggest misconception that I come across is people thinking that once the weight has been lost, it should stay like that without any particular effort. But maintenance, just like weight loss, it requires some ongoing mindfulness. The difference is that over time, most of it becomes habitual and it stops feeling like effort at all. Now, if you enjoyed this video, I would recommend signing up to my completely free email newsletter where I share plenty of free recipes and weekly fat loss and nutrition tips. I'll leave it linked below. You can also follow me on Instagram for lots of daily food and recipe inspiration. If you enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you'd like to watch this one next. As always, thank you very much for watching. Stay happy and stay healthy, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks for watching.